Okay, so first up, we are going to talk about the issues with the subways and a couple issues with the Long Island Railroad that happened yesterday and going into today, of course. Well, not really today that much. I only have one big issue we need to talk about with the subway that happened earlier this morning. And I'm going to talk to you all about more favoritism towards the Babylon branch, because the new Long Island Railroad schedules just came out, and it seems the railroad just loves to waste PDF and paper space. So, first issue we had yesterday was there was no F train service yesterday morning between Forest Hill 71st Avenue and Jamaica 179th Street in both directions due to signal problems. Yes, this ended up being signal problems. I'll show you the thread. Well, switch signals, really the same thing if you get where I'm coming from, but switch problems. It was probably because something happened at Briarwood. That's my only theory. So I had to tell people to take the Q60 bus yesterday because the E was not stopping at Briarwood. The E never stops at Briarwood. It always stops at Jamaica Van Wyck. So, if you're going to Jamaica Van Wyck, you know how long of a walk that is to get to Briarwood, down Queens Boulevard? It's a very long walk. Very long walk that people did not want to take. So I said, take the Q60. Because the Q60 goes right to Briarwood. And I also had to tell people on my Twitter feed to get to Sutphin Boulevard, right? Sutphin Boulevard Station, and transfer the Q43 bus. Because I'll tell you all right now, I'm looking at my map at the moment, because I have my cell phone, my handy cell phone with me. I know for a fact that the Q43, and I've known this route for a very long time, everyone, Q43 starts at Sutphin and Archer. Same with my buses, the Q30 and the Q31, that I normally take to get back to Utopia Parkway, where I need to get to in Fresh Meadows. So here's the story, right? Here is the story. The route goes up north on Sutphin Boulevard and then makes a right on Hillside from the Sutphin Boulevard train station on the F. So literally, if you need the F train, you just go on the Q43. You don't need to take the Q30 or the Q31. Those routes are only specifically meant for the people who have to go to St. John's University, who need to get to the Port Washington branch at Bayside, or, more importantly, the people who need to get to Queensborough Community College. So, I tell people, you need those bus stops, those train stations to wherever you need to get to. You have that option at least. You have the Q43 bus. Which, I don't know why not many people realize that the F's their only option. No, you have an option. You just use your Metro card and take the 43 bus as a whole. So, a couple new stuff. So, thank goodness the railroad tweeted this out. Long Island Railroad asks customers on the Cannonball Express train from Penn Station and on all eastbound trains to the Hamptons Montauk to leave oversized luggage at home and store all items under seats or in overhead racks to help ensure a safe and comfortable ride. No, what they should be doing is they should be charging. They should be putting a charge on oversized luggage. People are still going to do it. Again, the snobs love to break rules. They love to do it all the time, huh? So this was on one of the Babylon branch trains. Matt Campa was tweeting this. Look at this. Crowded train on the Babylon branch. Rarely happens. And then it looks like... Oh, okay. This is the 334 train to Watua. So apparently Matt must have took this train from Penn. Now I know this train. Yeah, it leaves Penn every day at 334. Yeah, so we had 10 cars, but should have been 12. Oh, exactly. If there are 3 connections to Jamaica, why aren't there 12 cars? Why aren't there 12 cars? Exactly. If they knew any better, they would have organized it. But here's the thing. Here's the thing that me and Matt were talking about yesterday. What they should do is, and I even mentioned this on the Lindbrook video back on Tuesday, what they should do is, every on-peak train should have a requirement of 12 cars from 4 p.m. to 8 o'clock at night, Monday to Friday. But the railroad doesn't seem to understand that. Because, I'm going to say this again, the railroad is seeing an increased amount of ridership. It's seeing an increased amount of ridership, believe it or not. Not that many people want to talk about that. And the railroad keeps growing. Alright, you have the third track project. You have, unfortunately, the snobs moving in. And unfortunately, if there are not 12 cars on an on-peak train, then you have chaos. And this is what can happen. Alright. And here's another issue. No one had come through to check tickets. We passed Valley Stream. So, Jason Pinero is going to the next board meeting later this month, which is the last one until September. Yes, no one is checking tickets. And this has happened to me before. This has happened to me when I met Matt and Merrick back in, I think it was May? Yeah, it was May, I remember. Yeah, when I met Matt back in Merrick in May, here's the situation. When I went to Merrick, when I got on at Lindbrook, nobody took my ticket, and I had to find a conductor at Merrick through the window to punch my ticket. Well, I understand the whole thing with the free ride, but unfortunately for my case, since I am a disabled Metro card holder, I should technically be getting a free ride one way between Lindbrook and Merrick because it's the same fare. Alright, if it's the same fare, they should not be charging me $150. Alright? $150's trash money. Like if I'm going to Jamaica, they have every right to charge me $4. Which is a lot of money in my book, but it's certainly a whole lot affordable than the regular off-peak pricing. That's for sure. But everybody else should be paying. Everybody else. But it's just stressful knowing that, again, due to my anxiety, and I get anxious when nobody comes. Lately now what I've been doing is, I've been showing the conductors my Metro card on the train. Because I'm not pre-purchasing tickets anymore. If I'm I'm going to urge everyone, if you're a senior, if you have a disability like me, because again, I have mentioned I have ADHD, I've had it all my life, and especially how with my ADHD it also causes me to have anxiety at times. Please, I'm urging everyone, if you have disabled or senior Metro card, do not buy a ticket before you board the train. Alright? This is clearly going to show a message to the conductors that we need our voices to be heard. We will pay our fares, just let us show you our Metro cards, and we will pay you. And plus, those automated machines give you dollar coins. At least with the conductor, you get real change back. Real single dollar bills back if you give them a 5. Which I prefer it that way. Alright? Okay. Now here's a good tweet from New RRGYGLYN. I know, I don't understand. They will freak out if you use an expired ticket and charge you the onboard fee. But meanwhile, they don't collect an entire train. Yep, exactly. That's the Long Island Railroad for you. So Jason Pinero was warning us about this last night. Temporary westbound platforms are in place at Kew Gardens and Forest Hills due to track work. Customers must board and exit from the first door of the first westbound train. So here's more blatant discrimination right there. Then we had an issue with the 7 yesterday. There were signal problems at Jackson Heights Roosevelt. There were signal problems. That's bad enough as it is. And this is what I tweeted last night. Here we go again. And I can understand why Matt Camper is not using the Long Island Railroad today and tomorrow. This nonsense needs to stop, and this is Title VI discrimination for Met fans. And last night at midnight, I had to have a long talk with Matt on Facebook Messenger. because he was completely irate about this. Oh, again, thankfully, I don't go irate, because I've mentioned this to everybody, that if I need the Long Island Railroad on weekends, I would only be taking it out further points out east. I do not go into the city on weekends because my friends want to see me out in Long Island on weekends. So I tell them, okay, I can just use the Long Island Railroad. And thankfully, there are no temporary platforms at major stations like Mineola or TLC for Carl Place, which it's not getting enough service, which we're going to talk about in this video again. And then here we go with this. I've been saying how this has been going on since the beginning of the season. I thought Philip Bing would override Nowakowski's rules, but I am blaming Elisa Pegans for this. And I completely agree with Matt. I don't know why the Federal Railroad Administration is not investigating the Long Island Railroad. I don't know why they're not seeing these Title VI complaints, because from what I've been hearing from the transit forums, there have been a lot of Title VI complaints being found against the Long Island Railroad since 2016. 2016. So this goes back to 2 years of the same nonsense with Metz Willets Point. It's been going on for 2 years, believe it or not, from what I've been seeing on some of the forums. I'm not going to say where I get them from, but... Alright, so, temporary platforms. This is the 6th weekend this season, of the entire Mets season, that, you know, they have been discriminated against. And here's another problem. In August, you have the big U.S. Open for tennis. Do you know how many people are going to be using the Long Island Railroad to get over to Willets Point for the big event later on before Labor Day weekend? Oh boy, people are not going to be happy. They can't get over to the tennis stadium. Alright, and then this Matt Camper gave me. We have 7 express service making local stops in both directions at these stations due to structural improvements. Well, I'm not angry about this, because they have to get it done. And Andy Byford was actually talking about how overall we need to improve the structure of the 7-track. And I completely agree with Andy Byford. It needs to be structurally sound. If it's not taken care of now, bad things can happen in the future. So, I'm actually applauding the MTA for this. Don't get mad about this, everyone. Please don't. All I'm going to say is just pack some extra patience, and more importantly, if you need express service, just transfer at Jackson Heights Roosevelt. Just transfer at 74th Street. You could take the E or the F train during this work, but I know some people who need the Lexington Avenue line, they need it. So if you need to get to Grand Central, just pack some extra patience, I guess. I don't know. So please just remember that. And then we have this. They're fortifying the Rockaway subways with critical flood protection measures. Until September, there are service changes affecting the A line. So on the A, here's the situation. Broad Channel shuttle service is going to be out. On the A line, Beach 60th and Beach 67th Street will not be stopping on the A line. But regular stops at Beach 90th, Beach 98, Beach 105th, and Beach 116th Street are going to be out. We're going to be in service, I mean. So if you need any handicap service, just please remember to use the 116th station. Please remember that. Because the thing is, and the more important thing with the subway system, this is very important, I want everybody to pay attention to this right now, is that you have more stops on the A line. You have more of them. If you can research a bus line from, I have the station right here. I'm going to get it right now, so that way you all don't get confused. I can't get you a bus line at the moment. I'm pretty sure there's a bus line that goes to Beach 44th between Beach 60th. So if you can find that bus line, take it. Try to find a bus, because you're going to be dealing with this until September. You're going to be dealing with this until September, that's for sure. So I'm going to recommend everybody right now, if you need to get on the A line, if you need to get to the A line, you can go to Broad Channel and you can take the shuttle. You can take the shuttle over there. It looks like the shuttle will be running over to Beach 44th Street. So if you can get to Broad Channel, don't go to Broad Channel because that's going to be out of service. So there's no way to get to the shuttle. So from what I'm going to make out, and this is what I'm going to tell everybody, if you can get to Beach 90th, go to Beach 90th. That's what I'm also going to recommend. If you can get to Beach 90th and you can transfer, it'll take you right to Beach 67th Street. Well, no, it won't. My bad. It will not get you to Broad Channel, so you're pretty much screwed. I'm trying to figure this out as on the promo here. But all I'm going to say is if you can find a bus line that goes down Rockaway Beach Boulevard, just find a bus line. That's all I'm going to recommend at this point. Alright, so last but not least, we're going to talk about what happened this morning. We had a train with mechanical problems at 34th Street Penn Station, impacting Jamaica Center-bound E-trains. Jamaica Center-bound E-trains had to run express earlier this morning from Canal Street to 42nd Street Port Authority because of a train with mechanical problems at 34th Street Penn. So thankfully they got that fixed up. And lastly, we're just going to take a look at the current conditions. Nothing, hanging wires. That's dangerous. Southbound 2 and 3 trains. That is very dangerous. I'm going to mention that. Hanging wires. Oh, I know where Nevins is. Yeah, Nevins is the last stop before Atlantic Avenue Barclays Center. So this is not good. I'm going to retweet this. Yeah, this is very dangerous. Hanging wires. Now we're going to talk about the Long Island Railroad in the next segment. New schedules have come out. Alright? So I'm going to talk to you about these schedules again. I'm going to talk to you about these schedules. So here's the situation with the schedules. Situation is, guess what? And this is very interesting from my perspective. The 122 flyer to Babylon did not get canceled. See? He can get canceled. The one that stops in Freeport every day, that one did not get canceled. 205 is still going to go. And keeping in mind, folks, this is going to happen after July 21st, which is 2 weeks from today. And the last point I want to talk about is Ronkonkoma. I already checked Ronkonkoma. No local service again. But here's one last point I'm going to make because I'm just annoyed with this MTA today. The shape that it's in right now. Guess what, everyone? Here's one noticeable not changed. The 1121 eastbound train to Huntington from New Hyde Park is still the same. Wow. This railroad loves to waste PDF space. They love to waste PDF space, huh? One noticeable change I will talk about before I wrap this up is on the Ronkonkoma branch, and this is a train that I normally use from Hicksville. So the 218 train has now been moved to 220. Let me highlight it so you all can see it. There we go. We'll zoom in so you all can see it. Right there. 226 train. Which is very important for me because then I have to research the bus schedules. So, I don't know what this railroad anymore. I really don't know anymore. Because right now, they're keeping the same schedules pretty much on the Babylon branch. In fact, one more thing I'll check to end this video. Let's check the Port Washington branch. Is the, let me check one quick question. I'm trying to figure it out. Yep, 1052 train from Little Neck to Penn Station, that's still going to go normally as scheduled. So, again, more blatancy right here. You can't get it any more wrong than the LIRR. Alright, so I'm not gonna waste any more breath on this. All I'm just gonna say is that check Matt Camper's YouTube channel later on today, because he is really gonna give it to the LIRR when it comes to Met fans being discriminated against. So I suggest you watch that, because honestly, I'm not a rate. Alright, this is the new normal, and if I'm gonna have to suck up to it anymore, I really don't know. I really don't know. So I'm going to wrap up this video. Thank you for watching.